This video is made possible by my patrons on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name is Xiomaro and welcome back to Battlerite Royale. So, last night a little picture went out on the Battlerite Twitter showing this. Anyone who has played Battlerite Arena will know who this guy is, and I think that is probably most of you. And if you haven't seen this guy yet, it looks like you probably will pretty soon. Interestingly enough, this tweet actually received more likes than the early access launch announcement, so people are clearly excited about his release. At the time of making this video, we don't actually have any more information than that though. All we know is he's coming in October, and it's probably a safe guess to say that he'll be coming at the same time as the Halloween event. And actually, it'll be interesting to see what Stunlock do with the Halloween event. Maybe it'll be just more Halloween skins and stuff, or maybe they'll add some Halloween themed items in game. Even if it's just turning the rabbit potions into bat potions, it could be fun. So, any guesses as to how strong Ruh Kaan will be? Because I have a feeling that he could be quite strong. Obviously, we don't know what abilities he'll have just yet, but honestly, his standard kit from Arena minus EX abilities would work perfectly in Battlerite Royale. Honestly, considering how Battle Royale works, he could be a top pick for melee players. He has decent self-healing, great ranged poke, plus a pull to catch those pesky ranged champs. He has a silence on his charged mouse 1. He has a frontal shield to block big attacks, 1 or maybe 2 iframes from his space ability, and another iframe on his R ability, and that one goes through walls. I get the feeling that the double space either won't be in Battlerite Royale, or it will be the legendary bonus when you get the orange space. Oh, and don't forget his ultimate, which, if it's left as is, will be absolute beast mode when the circle closes right in. Yeah, I think Ruh Kaan could actually be really strong, and it's probably why he wasn't available from launch. If you just plonked him straight in with his arena kit, he'd be pretty oppressive, I reckon. In any case, I know a lot of Ruh Kaan players will be very happy to see him added to the game. And here's me, just waiting to see what they do with Alder and Paloma. In other news, let's take a quick look at some of the changes from Friday's patch. With the fact that Stunlock will be making big changes to the game every week, I was umming and ahhing on whether I should do videos about them. And I've decided that I will do it, but I'll probably skim over changes that are just numbers tweaks. So, let's quickly go through what changed on Friday. So, probably the most significant thing you'll want to know about is the soft rank reset. It's pretty well known that everyone's rank was woefully overinflated. Pretty much everyone who is semi-decent at the game has reached GC already. And that kinda undermines what having a rank is all about. So after a couple of tweaks to the rating system, the ranks have been soft reset. So especially if you were a higher rank, you will have been dropped back up to 2 leagues. In terms of the changes to how you actually rank up or down, your performance should now weigh in more heavily. They specifically mentioned that you won't be able to climb to champion without getting kills, which to be honest was part of the problem before. You could easily get to the top 3 by just hiding and waiting, and by finishing even just second consistently, you would climb to high champion. I think Stunlock wants us to play this game quite brawly, which personally I have no problem with. It does make a nice change from the regular pace of Battle Royale games. So, a couple of other general changes include adding these cute little icons to the wyverns at the start of the game. They've also added flight path indicators so you can more easily plan where you'd like to land. This is a great quality of life change. Another change in this patch is the addition of 2 more res shrines in duos. Additionally, you'll get better gear when you're rezzed later in the game. If you get rezzed late game, you'll receive a mixture of blue and purple gear. This is actually a pretty smart change in my opinion. Unlike most Battle Royale games, there's no downed mechanic in duos. So when your friend dies, you're basically playing solo unless you can get to a res shrine. Adding more shrines is a good move in my opinion. Finally, let's have a quick skim over the champion changes. As I said, I'm not going to bog you down with numbers like I would in my arena patch notes. So, Blossom, Jamila, Jamong, Ulrich and Varesh have all received some relatively small numbers nerfs. Additionally, Blossom has lost her double jump on her legendary, and it's been replaced with a vigor buff that increases her damage and healing for a bit. Jamong, meanwhile, has lost the snare on his rain of arrows. That'll probably sting for Jamong players. Pestilus has actually been gutted somewhat. He was already pretty lackluster in solo. Yes, I know you've probably seen Jolts wrecking people on Pestilus, but that's Jolts. Pestilus is kinda crap for us normal folk. However, where he was very strong was duos, and that's where his kit has kinda been gutted. His Mouse 1 buff has had its duration reduced and its heal over time reduced. In terms of raw healing output, it's actually a pretty small nerf, but it does mean you need to reapply the buff a little more often. Bloodsucker has had its damage and range increased slightly, but the healing has been reduced significantly. His space has had its cooldown reduced a bit, and it now heals allies for 6, or deals damage to enemies for 6 over the duration when you infest them. That one's a buff. The damage on his E has been reduced slightly, his ultimate has had its damage reduced, but the shield has had what I think looks like a decent change. It no longer sends out moth projectiles when it's destroyed, instead sending out moths to enemies when they hit it. That lowers its skill cap significantly. The legendary bonus on it now also consumes any nearby moth buffs to increase the total shield value. Honestly, the changes just shift the value in his kit away from his mouse 1 and 2 and more towards his space and shield, but it definitely feels like a nerf overall. And one final thing to talk about is Rook. He has had a rework to his right click, and the change is kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, he can now leap over walls, but on the other hand, the cooldown is now longer and mouse 1s no longer reduce the cooldown. Great for staying alive and chasing people through walls, I guess, but that really hurts his ability to actually trade in a fight. I'm sure this will get looked at again soon. Anyway, I'm sorry for cramming in 2 things into one video, but from here on I'll be covering the patch notes on the day they're released. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more gaming guides, news and discussion. And don't forget to check out the links below to Patreon, Discord and Twitch. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.